Israel is deliberately starving the people in Gaza and then blaming Hamas for their deaths. Trump is on again, off again, telling net Nazi to finish it off out of one side of his mouth.
Hamas didn't really want to make a deal. I think they want to die, and it's very, very bad. And it got to be to a point where you're going to have to finish the job.
And then out of the other, saying there shouldn't be so many images of starving children. But whatever Trump says, he has doubled down on funding Israel in full, open, all-out genocidal terror. Over 2 million people in Gaza are facing mass starvation. Food and water are nearly gone. People are dropping dead from hunger, over 150 now. A third of the population doesn't eat anything at all for days at a time. The pangs of hunger hit children first and hardest. Their desperate cries for something, anything to eat, echo across neighborhoods. Acute malnutrition is hindering many doctors, journalists, and others from carrying on. Quote, "People in Gaza are neither dead nor alive. They are walking corpses."
احنا تمريض مجوعين مش بإرادتنا وطاقم طبي مجوع المريض مجوع 48 ساعة إننا بدون أكل.
This horror is not caused by a drought or a flood. It is consciously calculated by Israel, and it is totally unnecessary. Right now, the United Nations has 6,000 trucks loaded with food and medical supplies waiting on Gaza's border in Egypt and Jordan. But Israel refuses to let the supplies in. The U.S. sets up fake aid agencies which serve to further terrorize the people of Gaza.
He has half of a bag of rice that he found on the ground, a broken bag, half a bag of lentils that he found on the ground, and he was thanking us. Thank you. This little boy from where he came from walked 12 kilometers to get there, just to get there. 12 kilometers. Look at this boy. And when he got there, he thanked us for the remnants and the small crumbs that he got. And he sets them down on the ground because I was kneeling at this point, and he sets his food down and he places his hands on my face, on the side of my face, on my cheeks, these frail, skeleton, emaciated hands, dirty. And he puts them on my face and he kissed me. He kissed me and he said, "Thank you," in English. Thank you. And he collected his items and he walked back to the group. And then he was shot at with pepper spray and tear gas and stun grenades and bullets shot at his feet and in the air. And he runs away scared. They're shooting into this crowd. And Palestinians, civilians, human beings, are dropping to the ground, getting shot. And Amir was one of them. Amir walked 12 kilometers to get food, got nothing but scraps, thanked us for it, and died.
Or countries say they're going to deliver a pittance of food via airdrops. Airdrops have proven deadly and extremely degrading. For a rundown of the outright lies that Israel's using to justify all this, go to our coverage at revcom.us. But I want to speak here to one of the biggest lies being repeated and put into law by Trump MAGA fascism. That standing against these crimes against humanity, standing in opposition to this nightmare that Israel is perpetrating against the Palestinian people, is the same as anti-Semitism, which means being against all Jewish people. At college campuses right now, it is considered anti-Semitic to say that Israel has no right to exist. But Israel, a Jewish supremacist state, is an illegitimate state, and it does not have a right to exist. Look, Judaism is a religion and a culture. Zionism is a political movement and force which established the state of Israel over 75 years ago as a Jewish supremacist state, on the basis of the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people, forcibly removing masses of Palestinians from their land through terroristic means, including mass rape of women, and then subjecting the remaining Palestinians to vicious apartheid oppression and military occupation repeatedly over decades, enforced with slaughter and destruction by the Israeli military. And none of this would have been possible without the full backing of imperialist powers, including, most of all, the US. And it has now reached undeniable, outright genocide, the slaughter of a whole people as a people, live streamed before the eyes of the whole world. As the revolutionary leader Bob Avakian said months ago,
Zionism is a Jewish supremacist ideology and political program that justifies the founding and continuation of the State of Israel on the basis of carrying out the continual brutal oppression and repeated massacres of the Palestinian people, which has now reached undeniably genocidal dimensions. As I have sharply pointed out before, especially now, in the context of the genocide being perpetrated by Israel, I stand with Israel means I stand with genocide.
In the face of the vicious repression of Trump MAGA fascism against the protests standing against this genocide, using the lie that this is aimed at protecting Jewish students, way too many have capitulated, most dangerously on college campuses across this country, campuses that were the site of these righteous protests. Again from Bob Avakian.
Overwhelmingly, with regard to those protesting against the genocide being perpetrated by Israel, this is based on the actions of Israel, not on hatred for Jews. And it is entirely possible and definitely right to oppose the State of Israel overall, based not on hatred for Jews, but on the actual Zionist Jewish supremacist nature of Israel and how this has involved a whole history of atrocities against the Palestinian people. In fact, Zionism and the Zionist State of Israel represent terrible perversions of the best traditions of Jewish people, including the orientation that never again, the cry of Jewish people in response to the genocidal massacre of Jews by Hitlerite Nazi Germany during World War II, means that never again must this happen to any people. This is why I have made the provocative but profoundly true statement. After the Holocaust, the worst thing that has happened to Jewish people is the State of Israel.
And I will say for myself, as someone that comes from a Jewish background, there is a tremendous responsibility for all Jewish people, as Jewish people, to say no, not in our name. And there has been righteous and inspiring resistance, including among many thousands of Jews.
I'm here with Jews for Food Aid for Gaza. This is the office of Senator Johnson, the Senate Majority Leader, Republican leader in the Senate.
A group of rabbis and other Jewish clergy representing Jews for Food Aid for people in Gaza, which is a campaign that's been signed on by tens of thousands of Jews and over 750 fellow rabbis and Jewish clergy of every major American denomination. And we're here to say and to show with the entirety of our being that we support food aid for people in Gaza and an end to the Israeli government's food blockade.
But this resistance, demanding an end to this genocide, still needs to grow urgently right now. Too many who were in the streets just last year are silent, on your phones, quietly in pain and turmoil, throwing your hands up in despair. But the Palestinian people are still being bombed, shot, starved, and slaughtered, and no one should stand aside. Stand up against the vicious repression of anti-genocide protest. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. Rise up and demand an end to the U.S.-Israeli genocide of the Palestinian people. Demand an end to the siege of Gaza right now. And yes, link that to a demand for an end to the all-sided consolidation of Trump MAGA fascism. The videos from Gaza rip at your heart, and they should. The images of dead babies, of limbs ripped off bodies, of parents screaming for their children. These images are seared into my soul, and yours too if you're watching. But here we want to end this segment with a video of the children from Gaza alive, with empty stomachs but alive, banging their pots and pans and singing. Give us our childhood. Their childhood, their future is on the line.
أعطونا الطفولة أعطونا